Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a different type of video and I wanted to provide an overview of my gameplay just to show you what my thought process was. And so right now we're currently in a gunfight and my first goal was to get high ground. So the first person I see is someone gliding off of hot air balloon and I want to put as much shots into them as possible because I think it's part of the trio that we're currently engaging in. So one of my teammates end up getting knocked, and so my new goal is to provide as much support as I can and utilizing my high ground. So right now I want to pop as much shots into these people so it'll be easy kills for my teammate, or if they get downed, it's me. So right now they get downed, but they're really whited and weak. So it only takes one shot. I go for the thirst and miss. So there's this other player that wants to press me. They end up getting whited and letting me take some free shots. And I end up contesting them with the shotgun, and it leads to an easy kill. So as I'm going for the revive, you'll see an indicator someone's gliding in. And in the crack of the door on the right side, you'll see them pass. And with my headset, it leads me to believe that they passed the bunker and they're not engaging in us. And that I just confirmed it just now, and they're behind the tree. So my new goal right here is to defend my teammates. I want them to revive and maybe gain a little bit of health. And so one of the people that was a threat left and the other person's on tower. It looks like they're peeking to me. So I decide to pop some shots to see if I can keep them away. They decide to come back and take some shots at my teammate. And I end up getting the knock, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and thirst this person. They may have a self-revive. It's not worth letting them sit there and stay alive. So I now see a glider indicator, and I'm going to double check them. And then as I do that, there's a person who lands on me. Thankfully, I pulled out my shotguns, and they did not have them. And so now I'm going to be looking across the building where the person who glided on is. So now there's a person on my teammates, and they end up both getting knocked. And now I'm kind of wondering if this is multiple teams instead of just one team. And so I'm going to assess the situation, and I take a peek. There's someone on hill, and I'm like, okay, maybe there's multiple teams here. And so there's one above me, there's one on hill, one across at the building, and then one on my teammates' bodies. So it leads me to believe there's at least two teams here, and it'll be confirmed with all the mobility and gunfights happening. And so this usually happens when teams hear gunfights and they want to go ahead and do a third party and basically get 2 squad wipes and some easy kills. And so right now my goal is to just bide my time and just let them fight it out and get my teammates' cards and then get out of here. And so while I'm waiting, I want to reiterate how important it is to have some type of mobility. If you're in a pinch, that mobility is going to be a lifesaver. And so right now I switch my minis with my wingsuit for extra mobility. There is a straggler here who fails on the shocks. They end up coming on the hill and seeing me, and I end up getting the kill. I'm not quite sure if they heard me and then that's why they pressed, or if it was just a mere coincidence. But anyway, I decided to leave because the storm was hitting twos and I didn't have a lot of health. And I figured since I have 4,000 gold, I can revive my teammates and just buy back their cards. So there's currently the reboot van being activated, and there's gunshots on my right side. And there's one of the players who just got revived. I'm not contesting a lot of it. I have no heals, so it's not really worth it at this time. My goal is to play Storm. Even if I decided to 1v1 and I did win, I would really have to be banking on their items to be at least some type of heals. And it just wasn't a good risk to me at the time. So I wanted to play Storm and maybe reboot van. Hopefully get my teammates up. I noticed my surroundings, so there was one person across, one person near that bush and building, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I can get to the van, and then I'm like, oh, footsteps. Okay, so high ground's already taken, let me back off, and they get into their vehicle, and I'm like, okay, well let me play it safe here and see what happens. It looks like the van's getting closer, so I'm going to go into the shack. Usually there's barrels in these shacks, so I was like, okay, maybe I can get some health real quick and maybe, you know, shock out. There was no barrels, so I was getting pushed. I shocked out. There's footsteps. I tried to see if they noticed I was there, but then I just thought to myself, they heard me for sure. And so I decided to go in the reboot van. I ended up going down the hill. And I'm like, okay, well, let's reassess the situation. I'm getting shot at. I checked minimap to see how many people are left and how many teams. It says there's 2 teams left, so I know it's a 3v1. So thankfully the van goes up the terrain, and this person wants to contest me. And I'm assuming it's because it's a 3v1. They thought I was going to easy kill. So I end up killing them and thirsting them. So right now I want to switch to the passenger seat and reload my weapon, but it just didn't really work well. And so I was like, okay, I gotta abandon the idea, and I'll cross the water and I'll use the shack as my cover. You know, the rooftop is really good at peeking and making sure to see where your opponent is while you can reload. So person on the left is shooting at the van, and this person on the right goes to the red house. One of them decides to push through the water, and they don't have mobility, so they're easy shots. So now it's a 1v1, and it's to my advantage because the storm is on my side. So regardless, they'll have to push to me. And so it's just a waiting game. So they try to push, they don't have mobility, they get stuck in water, and it's an easy win. And that's why it's so crucial to have that type of mobility so you don't get stuck into that type of positioning. But if you like this type of video and overviews, please comment, give it a like. And if you like more gaming videos, check my channel out. And if you like that, subscribe.